You have chosen wisely. But the Grail cannot pass beyond the Great Seal.
And the wise thing that you have chosen, unless you also get the Name That Movie game, is going to be to take this class. Welcome, Stat 312. I am Scott Crawford. You gotta forgive me. I have a little bit of a sore throat. I'm fully vaccinated, so it's not COVID, but apparently there's other things that also go around. It does give me this really nice deep voice, so why don't we turn the lights down low? Which is impressive, but if you want a higher pitched voice, here, hop on up. You can be in it. Say, welcome, Stat 312.
Welcome, Stat 312.
There you go. So between the two of us, we're going to do an intro video, explain some of how this class goes. Students sometimes worry about what to call me. I typically go by Scott, so go ahead and call me that. Here's my email if you need me. All right. Normally, this would be a 4-month class, and we're going to do it in only 4 weeks. What that implies is, normally a week would have 3 hours of lecture, and at the end of that week, you'd do a homework and maybe 4 to 6 hours, depending on how confident you felt about it. But if we're squishing it together, you're going to want to put in some time every single day to work on this class. And you probably could put in some extra time one day and maybe take a day off, but you can't afford over the summer to take a week off. That's like taking a month off of a normal semester. Now, that sounds really harsh, so let me tell you a few things that might make it a little easier. For example, the lectures are going to be about 10 to 20 videos, and they're about 5 minutes each. And so that's actually less time overall. The fact that they're videos means you can go back and rewatch it if you need a couple of times. Now, I'll warn you, some of the videos are old. They're in the process of being updated. The really old ones start with me doing dance moves. I'm sorry, I thought I looked cool. The better ones have starting with a movie quote, which is like a Name That Movie game that we did at the beginning of this video. And some of them have links to UIO, which I used to teach there. Now that I'm here at Texas A&M, those links need to be updated. I'm working as fast as I can on fixing all that stuff and updating it. I mean, like today I have a sore throat, but I still got to make this video because class starts next week and we want to get stuff out and ready. So thank you for your patience as some of these videos are being updated. Hoping in the next week to get a bunch of them fixed up. But if you see somewhere where there's a link and it's old and it's like not working, let me know so that I can fix that. And office hours, which this is the scheduled hour that they have, but this class is still all online. These lectures are all online, and that's still because of COVID.
You mean nobody wants to catch your sore throat?
I don't think I have COVID. I think I just have a real sore throat, but yeah, so I was going to do more of these videos, but now I have a sore throat. I don't know. We'll see how far I can get. Office hours, weekdays at noon. I was going to put the Zoom link here, but like nobody wants to type that in. I'll have it in an email I'll send out, or it's in the syllabus. But yeah, you can come get help if you feel like you're struggling or if there's not enough. And one reason why you might struggle is because this class is expected to be an intermediary class. Some places call this a methods course. The idea is you had intro statistics where they introduced some ideas, and then you would take the intermediate class, and then you could go on towards like regression or other classes. But many of you, intro was a long time ago, you don't remember. Some of you, it wasn't a long time ago, you just didn't pay attention. There's actually ways you might get in this class by taking some upper level math classes. If that's you, and you feel like your intro skills are a little weak, that's okay. We're gonna rush through those fairly quickly. You'll be able to pick it up, but if you find yourself struggling and you need help, pop in office hours and be like, hold on, people keep talking about a p-value, what does it mean? And I'll be like, oh yeah, did you see the one video? Yeah, but that's not enough. All right, let's talk about it. That's office hours. You can come to office hours and say, I'm struggling with the homework. I'll help you figure out what part. For example, some people are going to be learning a program called R. We're going to go through very slowly. How do you get R on your computer and how do you use it? As if we're assuming no one has ever even heard of this program before, which might actually be true. So as we go through class and introduce new ideas, if you feel like you're getting lost, pop into office hours and get help. I'll be there. Hopefully that'll help make things a little bit easier. There's a few other tricks we're going to pull, such as you might see videos talking about when we get into log transformations, we're dropping that chapter, partly just because over the summer things move so fast. I don't think we can effectively teach that as well. So if they talk about logs, you can just ignore that. I'm going to set it up in Canvas so that that entire chapter is missing, which, by the way, it's not in eCampus. It is going to be in Canvas. That's actually a good move. I think Canvas is a really good program. I'll show you in a minute how to go in and find the class. And I realize that's going to make this video probably longer than the 5 minutes, which is kind of the goal, but be patient. It's video number 1. Plus, have I mentioned I kind of have a sore throat today?
Only about 10 times already.
Okay, I will stop talking about it. We're not going to necessarily only do biology examples, even though that's the goal of this course. Part of the value of statistics is seeing how it applies all over the place, but we will have a lot of biology examples. There are 4 pieces to the grade that you need to worry about. First is participation. For each assignment, quiz, report, or whatever, you need to go into the discussion board and just chime in and say something. There's not rules about how good your post has to be. Maybe you'll go in and ask questions on this quiz. I couldn't get it right, or I wonder why this is the answer, or my code isn't working, here's a bug, or why am I not getting results I wanted? Or you could go in and answer other people's questions. That's part of the point, is for us to be connected even though it's online. You might tell someone, hey, keep it up. You might just say, I thought this one was easy, or not my favorite assignment, anything along those lines. You could just talk about the weather and how it's draining. It doesn't matter. Something to connect to the class and say, this is how I'm doing on that assignment. The grading is 100% automatic completion. The quizzes, you have to go in and answer questions, mostly multiple choice in Canvas. I'll show you how to find that in a little bit. And the quizzes are not automatically 100%, but you do get to redo it. I wish it would tell you these ones were right and you could just redo the ones you got wrong. Every time you submit the quiz, if you missed a question, you want to get the points for it, you got to redo the whole dumb quiz, which I wish they had just programmed it differently. Some students like pull up 2 tabs. Here's my final quiz. Here's the quiz where I'm trying my best, and as I figure out what I got wrong, I go and fix it. That's quizzes. So you should be able to get 100% because you can retake it. I think you have 99 times. Frankly, if you've done it 99 times, something is seriously wrong. You need to contact me, but you can keep going until you get 100%. Reports are going to be a little more work. Usually they'd be every 3 weeks. We're going to have a report once a week. The good news is, in the gradebook, if you do it, you will get 100% marked. Then I will go through with the rubric for that report and mark it up the way I grade the final project. So you can see how, oh, pity me. You can see how you're doing. On the rubric, it's actually possible to lose all your points. It's even possible to go negative points. And often at the beginning of class, students are getting, 20% or even negative 10%, and you're so depressed. No. It just means here's some things that are really important in the class, and you're missing them. You're like, oh, okay, the next report I'll do a little bit better. And by the time you get to the final project, people are getting 90% on their homework. In fact, probably about 10% of the class gets over 100% on the final project, which is fantastic. I'll show you how to get bonus points when we talk more about that. The final project is worth a lot, so training in the reports how to do it is a big deal. But you should be able to get 100% on all the reports. By the time we get to the end of the class and it's time for the final project, you understand what's looked for. Okay, I remember how I lost 10 points for that dinky little thing. Fine, I'll make sure I put that in my final project. Just so you understand, it's probably about 10 to 20 hours of work, depending on how comfortable you feel about it. 5 pages, 30 pages, some of it depends on how terse your writing is, how many plots you put in. I have had people turn in a 200-page final project. Lots of plots, lots of R code. That's not necessarily impressive, okay? The focus of this class is in being able to explain to other people what your statistical analysis can tell them. For the final project, it's a military general who has data about some made-up war, and you need to be able to explain to them the stuff that matters, not just delve into theory or math or other things like that. So that's the main emphasis of what I'm looking for when I'm grading these reports in the final project. It's not your ability to understand theory, it's your ability to explain. R will do the hard math for us, so this is not going to feel like a deep math class. It is going to take me time to grade things. The final projects take me about an hour each to grade, so I'm furiously going to be digging through the reports and the grading, making sure I'm very clear and detailed about what you can do to do better. So be patient if it takes me 3-4 days to finally get to your report and get it graded, okay? So here's what it looks like if you get into the class in Canvas. Here's the welcome videos that you're probably going through right now. And then down here, intro stat videos. Let's talk about things that hopefully you learned or remember from intro stat, but some of you probably may not, and that's okay. Here's a quiz. You click on this, and it says resume because I already clicked on this earlier, but here's multiple choice, 5 options. You can retake the quiz until you get all the choices right, so you should be able to do well. If you have trouble or if you're struggling, go into the discussion board. It's okay to ask for questions. It's okay to give answers to other people. Let's help each other out. Fish oil and SDA is an actual report. It has a rubric that goes with it, and there's a video that talks about it in detail. If you go back into the intro stat videos, it'll talk about that. Also, make sure that you're posting for that. You are required to do these posting as part of the grade. And my goal is in the next few days to throw up as many of these modules as I can, as quick as I can, so that if you want to get ahead, that's an option. And if you have any issues or troubles, let me know.